the benefit of the VOD, you guys know how this goes. We're just going to post the link everywhere. And if you're early, well, hello there. We'll be getting started in just a moment.
There we go. Looks like just popped up on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Midziene. Hello, box of cardboard. How are you?
Okay, and I'm going to get this open. We'll do a formal...
And Axolot. Hello. Hola.
Hello, hello.
People pouring in already.
Already got 9 people watching.
Just gonna turn down
Just
the
realized we
audio.
probably should have changed the skybox for this map.
Well, you know.
Yeah, it's whatever.
My life. Okay.
Maybe this takes place
What
earlier.
life?
Yeah. Well, hello everyone. Let's get started. Hello everyone. Welcome to our Raising the Bar Salvation developer stream. Today we are streaming the 1.1 build of Salvation. This build will be released after the stream. So you'll be able to go and play and check out these improvements yourselves after the stream. I don't have a specific time after the stream, but today, so just keep an eye on the things. Today we have a few of the people who helped work on Salvation, and of course the actual development lead of Salvation, Amicus.
Hello. I'm the creative director of Salvation. I'm also the voice of Grigori, the composer, and just Ravenholm through and through. I do a lot of just... Ravenholm has been my bread and butter since starting on this team, so...
Yep. We also have Arbab.
Hi, I'm Albert. I did the kick, ported it from EZ2, did some of the Annabelle modifications, nail mine, did some other miscellaneous stuff to make Salvation the way it is.
Entity.
Hi, I'm Entity. I did some of the sound design and Salvation.
Yep.
I did some of the UI stuff.
There you go.
That's about it.
And Game Boy.
Hello, I'm Eric. Also Game Boy. I did some of the HUD icons, the nail mine in particular, and also I worked on the teaser trailer, and also a few other things in the future for Salvation.
And Random Cats.
Hi, I certainly do exist. The resident particulator. I didn't do much for Salvation, but I did do a number of things, which you will see.
All right. So here's how this stream is gonna go. If you've been watching RTBR a while, you've seen these streams, you've heard me talk plenty. But just to elaborate on how these spin-offs work, my main focus and leadership is on Redux, and on these spin-offs, that is Salvation and Triumph, I provide something of a producer role, but I'm not actually the development lead. The lead and creative direction is handed off and delegated to other people. As Amicus explained, in this case, it is him. So Amicus will be leading the discussion on the mod today. I will still be playing it, and I'll help maintain the stream. I'd like to ask everyone to try and keep your questions Salvation focused. A couple of Redux ones are fine, but I'd like Amicus to have his time in the spotlight here, because this has been very hard work, and Amicus has really stepped up to the challenge. He has absolutely taken very seriously the role of being the development lead of this mod. And I think it's going to be really exciting to get to try the 1.1 update, because I haven't really thoroughly played it. We've been focused on some Redux related stuff, and Amicus has been coordinating the 1.1 patch basically single-handedly. So yeah, that's how this stream is gonna go. Obviously Amicus knows if you see something, Amicus, that you'd like me to stop so that someone can talk about, go ahead and let me know. And
Absolutely.
otherwise, thank you everyone. Is there anything we want to say about this main menu screen?
So the music that you heard in the background is stuff that I composed. I actually just to gloat a little bit, because we were coming up on release so swiftly. I actually composed most of the music for Salvation in a week, and I'm very proud of that because it got really positive reception, and it is probably the fastest I have ever made music, and I'm still proud of it. So it's I didn't feel like the quality of the music faltered in any way, so I'm really happy about that. But that main theme, the second song that played there, is actually one of my favorite music pieces I've ever made. Yeah. Otherwise, there's Grigori. There he is.
Yep.
I realized this, but the title screen is based off of the trailer I made for Div 2.
That's absolutely right. I used the same cinematic VMF that you made for the for the trailer as the basis here.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I actually used the VMF as a basis. So for the Div 2 trailer, in case you haven't seen it, you can go and check it out on YouTube as well. Game Boy animated. Game Boy worked with Half Peeps, one of our animators in SFM, to create a sequence, obviously, of Grigori at the fire.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool visual. And so for Salvation, we wanted Grigori at the fire again. Peeps also did this animation in the background, this sort of looping idle of Grigori on the main menu screen. I sort of put the thing together, though it wasn't a lot specifically involved in that. The Grigori model himself, though, I was having trouble parenting the Annabelle to him, and so that Annabelle is actually on the model. It's kind of welded to his hands, so it's quite interesting, but just little touches like that. Whilst you're in the main menu, you can hear some sounds over here. We changed some of the generic UI sound effects, of course. We have a custom HUD. This is actually one I reused from another project, which was made by a tool for Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. And then we have the difficulty selection. Of course, Salvation has different difficulties. Would you like to talk about that, Amicus?
Yeah, so normal is the easy difficulty, basically. That one is meant basically probably for the first time you play it. I would recommend playing it on normal unless you find Half-Life 2 and RTBR way too easy for you. Then I would maybe try playing on hard first. But normal is going to be your kind of run-of-the-mill, like just easy mode, where it's going to be a lot more generous when it comes to pickups. Enemies are going to go down a lot easier, and you're going to take less damage. So it's more for players who want. It's still going to be challenging regardless, but it's going to be more for players who want a little bit of a, I guess, more of an R2BR experience rather than a like really challenging experience out of this. Hard mode is going to be what we balanced everything for. Hard mode is it's supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to die. It's kind of supposed to be that loop of get into it and try to refine your skills going through this as much as possible, because in the end of it, you want to be as good as Grigori at surviving these things, basically. And then Deathless is the same as hard, less pickups and more damage and all that. But instead of a easy, normal, hard, we have the normal, which is our easiest, the hard, which is our run-of-the-mill normal. Basically, it's a little confusing for some people, but and then Deathless is just going to be the same as hard, but if you die or reload a save or anything, you start all the way from the beginning. And there is a reward at the end of the Deathless run. So,
yep,
that's the probably more confusing than I could have made it explanation of it.
No worries. So for the benefit of this stream, we're first going to play on normal, so that we can kind of take things quite slow and we can talk about things without me having to worry about it. We may attempt a Deathless run, depending on how far we get and how long the stream goes on for at that point, because some of us are on a bit of a timeline today. But we'll start with normal. Other than that, I think let's get going.
So I'd hang around the beginning, because there's a thing that people don't really notice. the audio thing.
Yeah.
I think it's been long enough where I can kind of point it out. This screen here was done by CW. He's incredibly talented with cinematic stuff in general. Yeah, we used to have just like the text pop up, but he played this and he was like, "I'm gonna make like a Resident Evil looking thing," and I think it turned out wonderful.
I have cried out to thee, and thou hast
It's really
heard
nice.
me. Ravenholm rests for no man. It is time to leave this town behind.
So if you hang around this this elevator here, you can actually hear Gordon at the bottom of there using the gravity gun and shooting.
I think we heard a bit, but three
Yeah.
ambient effects, one after the other, kind of deadened it a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. But for anybody who doesn't know, you can hear Gordon down there, right at the beginning there, if you hang around for a second. But you also heard a whisper in the ear there. That was Tabby. That's one of our voice actresses, and she usually voice acts Mossman, and she voice acted Rosa in RTBR. But she actually undertook the role of Annabelle, Grigori's deceased wife, for this, and she did a great job. And I'm really, really happy that she pulled through on that, and honestly killed it. So she also voiced some of the hallucination like whispers and stuff, which you can interpret as being Annabelle or just being another manifestation of kind of Grigori's insanity. And then I voiced the other half of the hallucinations as well.
Okay. In this first
Yeah.
map, you don't have a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
This was sort of a deliberate choice fairly early on to sort of make sure that the overall map seemed dark and oppressive. You're walking through, I guess, it was a graveyard once. The zombies came back up, and it is a graveyard once again. Return to the dirt. The outcome of Grigori's and Gordon's fight here at the end of Division 2.
You can see just have a bunch of dead bodies laying about, and then some
Who
fires
would
that
like the
started,
place?
especially with the
Guide
generators.
my hand. Ravenholm must be put to the torch. I fear few supplies remain within the town. My sanctuary will provide one final time.
Is that smoke ours or is that retail's?
I believe it's ours, but Random Cat?
I don't think so. I think that's yeah, that's one of Valve's particles. The menu background fire is also not mine.
But this fire is here, right?
Yeah, that's the ENV fire effects, which are all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first zombie there is just meant to kind of like kind of just be a small kind of ease in. Like the first zombie that you see isn't really a threat at all, but it's like burning from the aftermath of that fight. And then you see here, it's the first first zombie that comes out. Immediately going from a classic zombie to a fast zombie.
What about
If
the
you heard
later
there-
My
music
way
here?
into the church before it is altogether claimed.
So I made a system. It's a pretty fairly simple system, but something I really wanted from Salvation was a layered music system for at least some of the more cinematic parts, and this is one of them. So when you start out, you have that kind of like low droning loop that's happening, and then I wanted when you come up to the church here that a choir comes in, as you see, like basically what has been Grigori's safe haven burning on the outside, but we'll see very soon that it's still safe on the inside.
Indeed. Okay. Let's progress.
And you see there we've got Annabelle sightings scattered throughout. So those are I guess if we want to go into the more of the kind of I guess deeper meaning behind all of these, it's actually we'll go into that a bit later, but yeah, you'll see Annabelle throughout basically in different spots, similar, kind of taking a similar role to the G-Man, but it has nothing to do with the G-Man.
Okay. What about these zombies, Amicus?
So that animation I made when I was basically making the hand animation for them grabbing through windows and stuff like that, but we also utilize this for some of the ones that come through walls and everything like that. And then we have another zombie at the top there that has another new animation of him just kind of leaning against the wall and watching. I do eventually want to make his head actually follow you and look at you as you walk by, but that'd be mainly for RTBR. Salvation probably won't get another update for a while since we're looking into Div 3 more so right now. So, but it'll continue support eventually. But yeah, these zombie animations are things that I really wanted out of the zombies. I added like for instance, the classic zombie has a new idle animation it's identical to the Half-Life 2 one, except I made their fingers move all wickedly like Half-Life 1's ones do. I wanted to bring out more of that Half-Life 1 feel of them.
Okay. So should we pivot to Arbab and give him the opportunity to talk a bit about the kick and the reload stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so kick is the same kick as you see in EZ2. Pretty much just ported over almost one-to-one. Some of the stuff unique to EZ2 is taken out. But Kagura kicks, I can't remember how forcefully Bad Cop kicks it, but Kagura kicks it very, very forcefully, as you can see. Originally,
Yeah, he's got the leg.
Yeah, he's got the leg. He had to skip leg day one bit. If you can, actually we don't have to do it now, but when you go into the ladder room down there,
Yeah.
there's a torso zombie, and you can now insta-kill it with a kick, like you can use it too. I actually didn't realize you could do that, but until people start talking about it, so I realized, oh yeah, you could do it. And so Amicus told me, and I added it back in. And also, you can now pick props out of your hands and send them flying.
Yeah, this was a bit of an unintended feature, but we kind of have a gravity gun in Salvation that I think a lot of people don't know about. So we tweaked it so that it's a little easier to do. Before you had to drop the prop before you kicked it, but now you can actually just kick props into zombies.
Yeah, and you can have like a cinder block or something. You can absolutely just destroy any zombie you come across.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might even go toe to toe with the Godoms.
The it's kind of an unintended feature that became a very fun thing that we decided to, instead of fix, we decided to refine it and make it more fun. Because I at least realized that what's Ravenholm without killing things with props? So yeah, we left it in. So Grigori essentially has a gravity gun attached to his boot at this point, because you can launch things, and I think it's fun, even if it's a bit goofy. I think it's fun.
Yeah, fun fact: physics damage isn't scaled in Half-Life 2 with difficulty, unlike most other types of damage. So cinder block does about the same damage in hard as it would in normal if you kicked it at a zombie.
Go. And
yeah, seeing somebody, Crispy OS said, I didn't know you could get stuff like that. Yeah, you'll find your experience is a lot easier when you realize that you can do this. This has always been a feature. It's just been a bit harder to do before, but now it's a lot easier.
I'm going to give myself current ammo because this is not our serious stream anyway, and also give Arbab the chance to talk about the Annabelle functions a bit.
Okay. Yeah, so Annabelle, it's like it was in RTBR, except now it reloads 2 bullets at once instead of 1. This is mainly done to expedite the reload, but also Grigori should be able to reload 2 bullets at once. He knows the Annabelle way better than what he does.
Indeed. And RBAB, we also have a fail-safe for if you have more than 2 but less than 4 bullets missing, don't we?
More than 2 but less than 4?
More than 2
yes,
and less
yeah.
than 4.
Oh yeah, like an odd
Less than
number.
a multiple
yeah,
of 2, basically.
So an odd number of bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it only reloads 1 if it... if you only need to reload 1.
As you can see.
Yeah.
Alright. Wonder what this is for. We might come back to this later. Maybe. If we have time. For now, we'll keep playing. This ammo pickup here is one that only spawns on normal, by the way. In all of the maps, there are pickups that only spawn on normal. This is part of why, besides the damage scaling, why normal is a bit easier. I don't know if you increased the amount, Amicus, or not, but at least when I set up these spawns, it was 1 extra ammo, 1 health kit, and then from Salvation 02 onwards, 1 extra slam per map on normal.
So, yeah, for 1.1, the pickups have been increased a little bit. On hard, it's been increased a little less. Not lessened, but it's been increased, but just a little bit. A normal, I actually added a bit more. Just per map in general, especially in the earlier maps. Later maps, it's kind of about the same as it was before, but I wanted it to ease in a little bit more for people who are playing on normal.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
If you want to just kick that guy. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he
Okay.
just went into the ground.
That's fine.
I have no idea how to fix that.
No, I don't think it is much. I mean, it's like sometimes NPCs just fall through fucking shells and stuff, so...
That's a thing that's particularly happening with the fast zombies, I've noticed. Is that they get kicked through the floor occasionally. But yeah. These gas cans are great for absolutely demolishing the zombies. This wall here, when you kick it, has been animated by one of our 3D modelers and basically an animator at this point as well, Aiden. He's not here at the moment, but he did a fantastic job. He kind of utilized this similar workflow as, if you remember in R2BR, the wall that the the first GoGnome that you encounter breaks out of. It's a similar thing of running a physics simulation and having some force applied to it when you kick this, basically.
And the reason why this glows and has a kick indicator and has holes in it is because as we did each thing, we still found playtesters were getting lost here a little bit when they didn't know to kick this. And so we basically added an extra thing every time until it became more clear.
Mm-hmm.
The kick indicator is inspired from Easy2's kick indicator. Amicus made it.
I think I might have unintentionally as well used the exact same image that they used.
Very possible.
I think I found the same image of the bottom of a boot on Google. That was like free to use.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, there's the wonderful animation. I believe there's a projected texture in here as well to help the lighting on the bricks, because source lighting is fun.
Yeah. When you have a model, it's only lit, even a prop dynamic, it's only lit by the light entity nearest to it for light maps and all of that. And so that meant when you used to kick this wall out to here, these bricks would be like completely black because they're so far away from this light source over here. So these now have a projected texture either side. It's one that doesn't cast any shadows, so it's about as performant as a normal light. And that actually helps these bricks stay lit up. So that's a little technical detail for you. Oh, this is a new. Is this a new one you've added?
Yep.
Is this
so the goal for the
or
first
difficulties?
That's on all difficulties. So,
I see.
I was a little more generous with the pickups in the beginning map because I want you to even on hard when you get into the church, I want you to be topped off basically, because I want the experience to really truly start when you exit the church.
All right.
Yeah, so there's an additional health kit there. I think it's a good spot to ask questions.
Yeah, sure. Let's ask questions before we get on to the next one, because then we're going to be talking for ages in the church. So,
Do you have any RZ?
Hold on, let me just read some.
Sure.
Someone asks, was wondering what's the green scrolling texture on those small health pickups? Kind of looks like a lettuce when zoomed in. LOL. Actually, that's a very small detail as well. I kind of noticed as well.
Is it the same texture as the goop?
Yeah, I think.
I think it's the same texture as the goop.
What goop?
The river goop in like canals and stuff.
No, that's different. So the river canal goop was made with a marble and some other smart materials in Substance Paint, and then I modified them to look. So the base texture is actually a marble floor texture, and then I screwed around with it a bit to make it look more like actual goop. And then I used an animated normal map and all the other same stuff. But on the actual health file, I'm pretty sure some years ago, this being like pre-Division 1 release, I think I just looked up royalty-free goop on Google Images and used that for the goo texture on the inside. And when it was static, it didn't really look right, so I applied a very simple scroll to it. And I guess it's just, I mean, you know, I don't have a specific lore for this, but obviously Half-Life Alyx said that all health stations are actually an antlion grub, which I think is a bit weird that they're all antlion grub juice, but you know, you could say it's some kind of healing juice, whatever is in the health kits and everything as well, you know. It's just green feel-good juice, so.
Yeah.
Got another one here. I don't know if anyone has asked this before, but when the main mod is finished, are there plans to make Salvation other Pro-inspired mod come with it as some sort of like a bonus map?
When Redux is finished, we would like to put it on Steam, and if we are successful in putting it on Steam, we would, of course, integrate Salvation and Triumph and anything else somehow. Not exactly sure how we would do that at this time. I guess in the bonus map section or something, and rename it to like other experiences. And then I guess the benefit you could do is that you only unlock them once you beat the main game or something, which would make sense for Salvation, for example. Or maybe you'd even be able to code it such that you have to beat Division 2 in order to unlock Salvation or something. This is looking some whiles into the future, to note that now. And obviously if we were able to get onto Steam, which is a big if on its own.
See a couple more questions here. Did you guys make the kick delay less annoying? When you fight headcrabs, they become so annoying to fight in close range.
So yes, that's one of the main changes coming to 1.1 is I made the kick slightly faster, and it actually has had great reception within the playtesting and everything. And everybody on the team who's played it has given positive reaction to it. So the kick is ever so slightly faster, and it is actually significantly easier to use. But it's still a challenge. It's still not like going to be as responsive as the crowbar, because I still wanted it to be kind of difficult to deal with head crabs. But it is going to be less frustrating to use, and it will basically be timed so that you can have some reaction time when it comes to a head crab jumping at you. Whereas before, it seemed like the time between the head crab jumping and hitting you was not enough for you to actually react with a kick. So it should be different now when 1.1 comes out.
Yeah, I tested myself, and yeah, it's a massive improvement as well. Next question. We got like very not too many questions here, but I'll read them anyways. Is there any content that has been cut for Salvation? Salvation cut content.
As with every project, yes, there is. I might get into that more in the future. Obviously, focusing on Division 3 right now, but as I've said from the beginning, I would like to support Salvation again in the future, whether that means bug fixes or additions. Yeah, that's not really something I'll talk about at the moment, just because I have plans, and we'll see if those plans come to fruition.
Yeah. Two last questions here. Besides Salvation and Triumph, do you plan any other spin-offs?
So, making spin-offs at all was a little bit of an unprecedented move in this sort of modding sphere, and certainly Salvation has been our first experiment in that way. So far, I think we generally judge the spin-off thing as a success. Salvation is very different from RTBR. It provides a very interesting new experience, and it also didn't really compromise on Division 3 in order for Salvation to get made. So that's pretty good. We'll have to see once Division 3 has kind of reached its next milestone internally. Some work will start getting funneled over to Triumph again, as there is always some background work being done, but it hasn't been the development priority. And then I guess we'll have to see really the overall response and everything, and also it's just kind of like we also need to have a good idea, right? Like the Gregorian mod presented itself very obviously because a lot of us are fans of Resident Evil, and you know, we spent a lot of effort specifically characterizing Gregory and doing more with him in RTBR. And so the idea of doing even more by letting you play as him, as well as the fact that we obviously are a content mod, and so we take inspiration from stuff like Return to Ravenholm, was a little bit of a no-brainer. And a Portal spin-off mod is just because we all love Portal as well, and it's just a really great way to mix everything together. We'd have to have a good idea, I think. We'd have to have an idea that we could all get behind internally. I mean, there would also have to be someone who had that idea who was willing to kind of helm it, because, as I say, I don't have the capacity to helm more than one thing at a time internally. That's why Amicus has done such a great job taking lead of Salvation, and that's why Iridium has been leading the development on Triumph, and sort of taking charge of that. And, you know, that's probably what we'd have to see for another spin-off as well. So, we don't have any other ideas right now. You know, I think we wouldn't be close to it if Salvation and Triumph went well and everything continued going according to plan. But we don't have anything right now.
If we did have another plan for a spin-off, it would be definitely after Triumph comes out. It wouldn't be before, because that's already... doing 2 right out the gate was already like a big kind of commitment that we're still willing to go for, but it's we don't want to like keep building the tracks as we're running, you know.
Right. I think final question, and then we can move on. Paulo asks, will there be new dialogue lines? I'm asking because I made a Italian translation add-on a while ago, so I'd like to know if there needs to be reworked once 1.1 will be out.
No, there was not any translations. I did fix one caption error, but the translation should be fine for that, because I imagine it wouldn't translate any differently. So it was just one little inconsistency with the wording of something, but the overall message of that sentence is completely the same. So your translation should be completely intact. There was not, I know this is something that was requested, but I didn't have time to get it implemented, but there's not captions for the kill lines for the zombies, or different captions for the flashlight for the church. That'll be something that I fix in the future, not for now though.
Okay, let's get this show back on the road.
Yep.
I'll keep record of the questions that are coming in right now. You know, I'll just when's the time right again.
Sure. I saw someone mention, just as a side thing, I saw someone mention in a video or stream that this was a staircase that went to nowhere, and that it was a reference to a church. And whilst I do appreciate that there are real-life examples of that, I actually intended for this to be a wooden trapdoor that opens upwards, kind of thing, and is locked from the other side, or maybe like, or something, I don't know. Maybe someone else in the clergy or something, and or a follower of Grigori went up there and locked themselves up there to get away from the zombies, and now is starved to death or something. But that was the idea behind this. It's not meant to be a stairway that goes nowhere. But you know, interpret it as you see fit. That's kind of what I intended, at least originally. So that is map 1. We're coming into map 2 now.
Fixed a soft lock here as well. You should no longer get stuck on that lamp in the corner there. That's another layered song. I'll shut up so you can actually hear the transition.
I should take whatever I can. When I leave this place, there will be no turning back.
So this is a song that was very inspired by Resident Evil safe rooms, as you can probably tell. I wanted this church, obviously the updated church that Sorted actually made. He's our Eli voice actor and has also done quite a bit of mapping as well, especially art passing. But he kind of took this church and made it a lot cozier, made it a lot more, I guess, just more refined in general. And the addition of these candles that I made, and the candle stands that I made from his brushwork and everything like that, and the particles from Random Cat here, all came together and made this a very cozy space. And I wanted it to be kind of a what's the word for it? Kind of a counter to the rest of Ravenholm, being such a chaotic mess, but in here being just such a homey feeling. And then obviously we have the little interactables, kind of a callback to R2BR of being able to interact with these things and have Grigori explain them. So now Grigori can talk about him himself and what he thinks about these things.
Indeed. I'm going to pick up these slams, these nail mines, before we do all the narrative side of things. And before we get on with all of that, I'm also going to say, Entity, would you like to talk about some of the HUD noises we've heard so far?
Sure. Yeah, what you're hearing now is the HUD sounds. We decided to obviously replace the HEV sounds because you're not playing as Gordon. Yeah, I used a lot of clothes sound, clothes, kind of rummaging around, I think. Yeah, when you select, when you're selecting the weapon, kind of like move through the select menu. That's like me like rummaging through a bag. And then when you actually select the weapon, there's like a close sound, kind of like I actually got one of my rummaged it around a little bit, and Amicus added like a little impact sound for kind of like make that more impactful that you're selecting. So we kind of kit bash that together. What else? Oh yeah, the sprint sound. There's this. I just went ahead and just replaced all the default Half-Life 2 UI sounds, so that was pretty fun. I'm not really sure what else to add to that. Yeah,
it's fantastic work. Really kind of distinguishes Grigori's whole just presence, I guess, for the player as being much different than like the regular Half-Life 2 or R2BR kind of feel.
Yeah, the flashlight as well. Redid. So I just found a flashlight in my house. We also found like in the.
You're cutting out a bunch, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we can
You're
hear you.
cutting
You
out a
just
bit.
keep cutting out a bit.
You can receive me. I don't know if it's still.
It's still cutting out.
Hello?
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 Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
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 You found a flashlight?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm cutting out anymore. Is it good?
It's okay.
Sounds
Just
fine.
go. Just go on. Just go on.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, so we founded the sounds actually.
No, we're losing
Ow.
him.
Oh man.
We're losing you again.
Hello?
Hello. Why don't you try and say it really quick before the cutout happens again?
Flashlights are cool.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's
there we
about
go.
it. Yeah,
Nice.
flashlights are cool. No,
we'll try
yeah,
those out
no,
in a sec when we pick up this flashlight.
yeah, there's two sounds for the basically, the on and off.
All right.
That's the quick version.
There you go. And I'm going to tag in Game Boy next before we talk about narrative and models in this church. So Game Boy, go for it.
Hey there. I gotta get going soon, so I'll just do both my bits here and now. The HUD icon is typical. I just take in the model. I do line work on Adobe Illustrator. I kind of play around with the weights. I just look at like what other Half-Life 2 mods have done, along with just retail with most of the things that I do. And just like a quick thing about like the teaser that I worked on. Just long story short, why was the teaser made the way it was? I wanted to kind of have a little flashback of the events of what happened in Div 2, just briefly, and then show a transition to that you're playing now as Grigori. Just little bits and pieces of what I always do in my trailers is just like tease certain things, show off like weapons, new weapons, and also new areas as much as I can. And one thing that I did in particular that a lot of people were kind of hesitant at the time to put in the trailer was the hallucination at the end. I kind of wanted to just briefly do that, just to strike up conversation amongst the community, to speculate, like, what exactly is that? Is that a boss battle? Is that a hallucination? And it looks like what I did worked. I saw what people were saying on the Discord server and also on the YouTube channel, just kind of speculating, like, oh, is this a boss battle? Is this a hallucination? What exactly is going on? And I'm really glad we did do that, because it did like bring up a lot of hype. But as always, how I do my trailers, I always try and make them as cinematic as possible, and you got a lot to look forward to, I guess, with Div 3 or whatever is coming next. But that's my bit.
All right. So we're going to pivot to talk about the nail mine a bit. So in Division 2, we had a remodeled nail mine. It's obviously inspired by the nail mine that was cut from Arcane's Return to Ravenholm episode. And as with everybody else, we watched that and thought about what could have been. Some of the ideas might have been a little silly in context, like headcrabless zombies and some of the mutant Grigori stuff, but some of it was very compelling and interesting still. And so it made sense when we were making Salvation to make the nail mine go from a cameo model to a full-on weapon. It's effectively the Slam with some minor edits aesthetically. Well, not minor edits aesthetically, but major edits aesthetically, but it functions basically just like the Slam in terms of how it works. I believe that was Arbab who implemented a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, so like Relic said, it's pretty much just a slam. You don't have the little detonator though, so you can pretty much just throw the nail mine and instantly detonate it. I think that if you do that though, you will deal damage to yourself, so do it with care. Fun fact, we originally wanted to create entirely new sounds for the nail mine, but due to some programming bug thing, I couldn't get the sounds to... I couldn't remove the sounds, and we just had to stick with the default explosion sound, which kind of sucks.
But we might be able to look into that in the future. So, you know, things come and go, so that's alright. The model itself was remastered from the Division 2 release. It was a lot simpler than this. Probably was okay for being on a table in the corner of the church, but once it had to be in your hands and very much visible, for an extended period. It needed to have a significant quality increase. So there was about 2 years between when I modeled the first version and the second version, and I'm quite pleased with how the upgrade went. The animations were by Silent, who obviously animates all the weapons in RTBR, and the sound effects for using it and placing it were done by Usar, which we shall see soon. This pocket flashlight model is also one I modeled, just as a sort of a little explain why Grigori, has a flashlight
It's
at all.
time to brave the town. I must conserve my ammunition. I cannot hope to free them with bullets alone.
There we go, we have an interaction lines. Now I guess we're just going to press E on all of these, and let's see about all of them.
I carry the Lord's words with me. I have little use for the texts now. O light, if I am to be called upon thee, give me strength and allow me passage through the dead unscathed. Then I shall deliver your message. When I have made my escape, I shall have a decent meal. The time for confession has passed. The light can guide me, but it is I that must make thy guidance true.
Okay. And lastly, before we leave the church, random cat, I guess for candles.
Hey, the candles. So, I don't remember really the exact circumstances I made this in, so I'm just gonna go over my bullet points. They reuse the Bunsen burner flame texture. If you remember, all the way back in Division 1, in the lab, there was a Bunsen burner that could be interacted with. It made a little cute flame. I reused that texture for this. I had to upgrade it a little bit because it was like oddly dark and compressed poorly, so I fixed it up. So that the candle looks nice and bright. Next, there was an oversight. I made an oversight when making it initially, which contributed to the performance issues in 1.0. The technical thing is that refraction effects, like visual effects that use refraction effects, are surprisingly expensive, and there are so many of them, which I just kind of didn't realize at the time. But I fixed it now, and to compensate for like removing the heat haze, I gave them a glow instead, and that glow sprite follows like a sort of average position of all the candle, of like all the particles. So if you zoom in on it, you'll notice it's always centered on the flame, even though the flame kind of moves around a little bit. So yeah, I think that looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
I think it gave a good alternative to the refraction to still keep giving it that really warm look.
Yeah, it really looks like nice and bright. It's like it emulates like traditional modern bloom effects really well without actually having access to bloom.
That paired with the HDR is just wonderful.
Yeah, for sure.
There's actually something else which we can talk about, which isn't as easy to see like visually, but you will certainly feel it whilst playing this map.
So, something that was one of my main focuses for 1.1, and something that I have been absolutely working my my ass off on, is making the performance significantly smoother. You'll notice within the church, obviously we don't have NetGraph on right now, but if you wanted to put on NetGraph for a second here, if you can.
There we go.
To the bottom right, you can see there, when you look out of the door, it'll dip a little bit, but the FPS in the church is significantly improved.
Even looking straight out the door, 120 frames, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's it's like that throughout the level as well. There's a couple little bits where it's kind of hard to optimize, where it dips down again, but people should not be getting like 30 to 40 FPS in this map anymore. This map is I have done so much work for optimization in this map, and not only just this map, but most of the maps that needed it especially have been improved so that there's things like, for anybody who's familiar with mapping, things like area portals and occlusion brushes and everything like that in the way, so that not everything on the screen is rendered at once, basically. So the simple answer to that is it's going to play a lot smoother. It's not going to be as choppy as it was, which might help with the difficulty that people had as well.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's breach into the town. That's a custom particle effect as well. Random Cat, would you like to say something?
Alright, very well. So this is I believe the other only major thing I've made for Salvation. So let's go over it. So this continues the sort of thing I'm doing with the explosion effects, where I want each one to have like a unique personality. Like I want each explosion to be distinct and unique. You know, it reflects like where it comes from. So, also don't mind the what's going on there. The host timescale makes collision responses a bit buggy. It's fine, don't worry about it. So, yeah, I'm going to channel like the sort of DIY nature of Grigori's legal explosive contraption, making it seem kind of dangerous and like chaotic. You know, it's spraying sparks everywhere. It's leaving chunks of molten metal near it that quickly cool, which I'm really proud of. I think that looks really realistic. And what else? So yeah, I tuned the collision response of the parameters for the bouncy particles to make them very chaotic. I pulled them slightly outside of like their intended ranges, so they actually gain speed when they bounce instead of losing it like they're usually intended to. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe this thing at least partially contributed to like the fires that are everywhere now.
Alright, and we'll get into playing the rest of the map then.
Ravenholm must be put to cleansing flame. Only then can I be sure no more souls are claimed by this wretched town.
So something that wasn't mentioned yet, but playing 1.1, you might notice that there's a bit more fire around. That's another thing that Random Cat allowed for, basically. If you wanted to talk about your efficient fire.
Yeah, I just like took one of the ENV fires and made a copy of it and stripped it down. So just like a single layer, which makes it a lot more. And I think I made it a bit bigger as well. Actually, I made multiple versions. One of them is like, some are like huge, and then there's like a more average-sized one. So they're basically just easy to like put everywhere in high quantities without severely affecting performance with smoke and colliding embers and stuff.
Yeah, so allows us to burn down Ravenholm a lot flashier.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and that, as somebody mentioned there, Blue mentioned, fire is a lot more abundant in later levels, and you'll see that.
Mm-hmm.
Garlic, did you want to talk about some of your level design here?
Oh, sure. So me and another mapper named Mill260 art passed all of Salvation. Obviously, we had a very strong foundation to start from, what with Flash having done all of Quarry Town, well, most of Quarry Town, and then RZ, SCP, and I worked a little bit on it for Division 2. You know, really the main thing was obviously we had to block out the new sections. You know, the whole point of Salvation was to kind of channel that sort of Doctor mode or Hunk mode kind of thing of going back through an area you've already been through and then testing you with new challenges. And so it was really about thinking, well, what doors would, you know, make sense to open up and to create new pathways through to kind of change the path of progression. And again, luckily, because Flash put so much detail into his environment design, it was quite easy to figure out what the interior space of buildings should be, how a path through them should look like. And then I looked to the detail standards that Flash had established throughout the rest of Ravenholm in order to make these new areas match. Yeah, I mean, there's many new areas. I had inspirations for all of them. I'm not going to go into great depth about all of them, but yeah, the idea was just to make sure they kind of fit still and look like something that would be there in the same way as all of Flash's art passing does. And yeah.
Great thing with this as well is that we a thing that we really wanted for Salvation, and I think that we pulled off, is you get to see the behind the scenes of a couple spots where you see Grigori and RTBR. So this kind of gives some kind of hint of how he gets around Ravenholm, like all different pathways that he knows of, that he's either set up or he utilizes usually. So like things where like are usually inaccessible in regular RTBR, you get to see like kind of what that looks like behind the closed doors and everything.
Exactly.
We fixed a bug on this on this thing. This propeller used to kill you because the battery on it had a collision that you'd step up onto and get a really nice haircut.
I'm going to keep going here now. This building in particular has a fair amount to talk about, but let's start with these.
So here's the debut of the zombie hands. I've seen people debate on whether these are real or hallucinations, and I know the answer to that, but I kind of just in the spirit of Grigori in general, I don't think I'm going to answer it because I like people speculating about it. But kind of questioning reality here. But yeah, those are just the kind of thing to kind of give some more environmental hazards to have to worry about. And that you can kick them or hit them, and actually recently discovered that they take prop damage, which just I guess works for some reason, which is great. And you can get them to go away pretty easily, so they can do a couple points of damage on you if you aren't paying attention. They're kind of just there to kind of snap you back to like, hey, pay attention to your surroundings. But yeah, that's basically all they are.
Indeed.
This
Very
banner
simple
will deliver you, Jacob.
enemy edition
You shall
there.
become the light that frees those who have loved in their truest form.
Plenty to talk about here, and it's pretty much all you, Amicus, so go for it.
So the pyres here. So these are the things that Grigori uses to burn down Ravenholm, and they're a little bit inspired by Left 4 Dead, as you can see with the jerry cans with the glow on them. But the zombie inside of there, and all of the zombies inside of these pyres are people that Grigori knew personally and cared about very much. And you can tell with how he treats them with like a prayer and a just a small thing to say about them with everyone that he lights up. here. He essentially uses them, or not uses them, but has them, I guess, become the salvation for Ravenholm. They are people that he cares about, obviously, and he wants to kind of give retribution to Ravenholm by allowing them to turn into basically the fire that cleanses the whole place. It's kind of like it's a deranged way to think, but that's perfectly in line with how Grigori is. So
There we go.
and yeah, we've changed it so this is a little bit more obvious on what to do as well. But I made the animation for the zombie sitting there in the chair as well. It's supposed to be implied that they're tied down to the chair, but that's a little bit hard to make ropes and shit like that works like that. So, yeah, he's basically tied down to the chair there. And to answer the question that some people had as well, no, he was not tied down to the chair and then head crabbed. He tied the zombie down to the chair. He's not that cruel.
All right.
Yeah, light him up.
I commend you to the light, my beloved Jacob, and wish you peace from this place of chaos. Go and join your family
Zombies
in
are
the place
politely
of glory.
sitting down.
Flee from the desertions of the Demiurge.
So that line right there is what kind of inspired these. That line is actually a cut line from the Half-Life 2 beta of Grigori when he was throwing bodies of people that he knew into a pyre. So that was repurposed into being something that he says to individual people that he burns here.
And the use of the demiurge says a lot about Grigori's religious affiliation, doesn't it? About what kind of Christian he specifically is.
Mm-hmm. It's a very kind of, I guess it's not super like niche, but it's a very cryptic and kind of, I guess older form of this kind of like, not super well versed in his religion, but I've researched it quite a bit for this specifically. But the demiurge is a very like primordial type of kind of viewpoint on the deities and stuff.
Is archaic the word you're looking for?
Archaic, yeah. It's very archaic. He's got this very old and ancient kind of form of this religion that he believes in. You always suspected Grigori would be agnostic. What?
I mean, he is a monk. I guess maybe they meant before. Maybe I've seen some people interpret that Grigori would became religious as a consequence of the zombies and was not religious beforehand. But I also feel like, what about the church that he clearly was, involved in or had some connection to? Maybe he was just quite a casual Christian before or something. But I think the line we're going with in RTBR is he was a priest of this town, for the people that lived here before things went to hell.
The thing to realize as well is when the resonance cascade happened, Grigori was relatively young. He was, I mean, in RTBR he's probably in his like mid 50s, depending. So he was like during the resonance cascade, he was maybe in his like mid 30s, maybe early 30s. So there's a lot of time there to kind of form a religion and everything, because I've seen people form religions later in life and everything as well, personally. But this isn't necessarily the exact lore of RTBR, but this is at least how I feel about it. Is that Grigori was was kind of loosely religious earlier in life, but the resonance cascade kind of pushed him into this faith, like significantly. Not after the shelling of Ravenholm or anything like that, but more of you see aliens come out of like the woodwork and everything, and you see like these massive like what's the word for it? The cosmic horror of Half-Life, and you know, it could make some people go kind of mad and kind of kind of make people have religious experiences. So it's at least my thought on it. I have this kind of headcanon that he was a mechanic before all of this.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so handy.
Could have been a mechanic with a slight religious inclination that turned into a significant one as the
Yeah.
world around him blew up, basically. Vis-a-vis, no, you're not allowed to climb on these platform over this section boxes. But all of them collapse when you stand on them. Couldn't do that at barrels,
Yeah,
but, you know. Is that a new one you added?
Yep.
Nice.
That's a new normal one. That one doesn't appear on hard.
Oh yeah, and we haven't actually used the flashlight at all yet, so there's the sounds that Entity was trying to talk about earlier, and also the texture is a bit different. Did you want to say anything about that, Amicus?
The flashlight? Oh yeah, the texture. So from 1.0, I've actually brightened up the flashlight texture a little bit because people were saying it was a bit too dark, and I agree. It's still pretty dim compared to the Half-Life 2 one. But it's a new texture for the flashlight that I made from scratch. Flashlight textures are actually not that hard to make. It's just a couple circles with some blur, and then you add some like kind of small like rough details to it. Yeah, so it's a bit dimmer than the one that Gordon has on his fancy power armor. He's just got this little dingy flashlight, so he gets the old tech. But it was kind of just made to kind of add to the kind of horror aspect of this. And then the sound effects that Entity made for the flashlight off, I just kind of reversed that sound effect and it worked properly. So, yeah, we got some new sounds for the flashlight as well. That isn't like the cool power armor sound.
All right. So let's keep on going then.
The smoke is choking me. I must make haste.
There's a change in progression here by the looks of it.
Yep. So it used to be that you could go out of any exit in this building. I've actually made it so it funnels you up to the roof so that you don't miss probably the coolest hallucination in the whole thing. But yeah, here it is.
Annabelle, I wish not to hide from you, my love, but there is nothing more I could do.
So if you hang around there for a second as well, you can see that the bell tower catches on fire.
Oh, very nice. It's a nice addition.
Yeah, that's a new thing in 1.1 as well. So this line actually used to be different. Not before 1.0, but or not before 1.1, but before 1.0 came out. Yeah, that's a new health kit there too. It used to be a little bit less on the nose of what relation Annabelle is to Grigori. Annabelle is Grigori's deceased wife, not his daughter or any other relationship there. It's his wife, just to clarify even more, and I tried to make that a bit more clear there. Something that did not get into this, but I'm confident will come in the future, because I already made the asset for it. I just didn't have time to implement it. Is I'm going to put a ring on Grigori's finger at some point, but that'll come later, probably in a future update.
All right.
What else? Oh yeah, I made the animation for the zombie hand there, and then CW, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, he is fantastic with cinematics. Kralik did the kind of groundwork of how the cinematics work for these things. So he kind of made this foundation of it, and then CW came in and refined the hell out of it. So it's super cinematic. You see like that mushroom cloud plume explosion that comes up, and then as the hand comes up and everything like that. and the color correction, yeah. So that was kind of the hard work of 3 people put into that. Well, and Tabby as well. Tabby's fantastic voice acting. So 4 people. Yeah, for those who don't know, CW did the in the Eli Den for Division 2. He did the Portal Storm explosion and everything like that. He's very good at making cinematics in Source. Yeah, there's a lot of new pickups in this map.
Oh, another one that I've kicked into non-existence.
So I've moved that health kit a little bit closer so it's a little easier to grab. No, the CW made the Portal Storm sound effect with his mouth up completely unedited. Fun fact: he's actually the classic zombies, and the Zombines here. So that sound right there that you're hearing right now is him.
Gnarly.
Make a same voice actor video for that. Put like Wilson and then the zombies here, and then the Go Gnome, the Fast Zombie, and the Poison Zombie are me. The Fast Zombie going. That stuff was so fun to record. I actually learned how to do a Howie scream specifically for that. I didn't use the Howie scream that's like that stock sound effect. I actually worked really hard to kind of replicate that with my own voice. So that's something I'm quite proud of.
So here we come into Salvation 03, the 3rd map of the mod.
The Howie Squeam.
What was once the heart of this community, overcome with rot. May let loose a spiritual purge.
So that's been turned into a kick door just because I think it's fun. And some people were a little confused at why they couldn't kick that door open. It used to be just like a front door or whatever the hell entity's called, but instead of making it a door that you can open and kick, I just made it one that you just kick off the hinges. Thank you for stopping by, Anderzilla. Have a good day. It's actually my favorite song that I composed for the Salvation besides the main theme.
The background beat reminds me very much of a particular track from Halo 2 that I can't remember the name of, but it's one of the Arbiter tracks.
This song is called Penance.
We will be uploading the full soundtrack to YouTube as well sometime this week, as well as a compilation of all the tracks together, so you'll be able to listen to them all. This includes mixed versions of the layered tracks, which Amicus has spent a lot of time making dedicated sound mixes for standalone release.
Let's see. We actually probably would have uploaded them earlier if that weren't the case, because layered music is very difficult to make into an actual curated track. So that's something that I worked out on. That's my stuff. Yeah, these little babies, head crabs, are Andy's work, and I just did a retopology of them so that they're a lot more efficient. And they also, for 1.1, I made it so that they appear a little bit later down into the hallway, so you can actually quickly run past them if you would like to. They are still there to kind of absolutely ruin your day if you're not paying attention. Kind of the name of the game with Salvation is that you're supposed to be paying attention most of the time. And while you're you can stop and smell the roses, you should also be looking ahead to see what dangers are there. But if you didn't hear it earlier, you could also hear the Gonarch die back in that flesh hallway. At this point, you are actually ahead of where you are in Division 2. So everything that takes place past here is after Gordon has killed the Gonarch.
Yep, so we hear the Gonarch death sound back there somewhere. And at this point, Gordon is in Division 3. Which hopefully you guys will also be in the not too distant future. But yeah. So from this point onwards, Salvation is now the most recent entry in the RTBR chronology that you can play. From Salvation 03 onwards. That's the events of the most up to date.
Enceladus asked what Gonarch. In Division 2, there's a Gonarch. That's kind of the ending of that.
Should we take some questions?
And no, we did not mean Gonome. We meant Gonarch.
Yep.
Yeah. RZ, did you have any questions that were cataloged here?
RZ actually stepped out. He told me to cover him while he's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
we haven't been getting any.
Should we
we
start?
haven't been really getting much questions. I can try to look for them though.
Should we start with the 3 that he noted down already? I think he noted them down at about 30 minutes ago. Yeah.
There was a question here
If you
that
scroll
I
up,
saw would actually be.
If you scroll up in meeting
by...
text, Mars, there's a list.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a list of 4, and then try taking a look at the chat.
Yeah. Lambda Dude asks, what was the toughest part to make when developing this mod from start to finish?
I would probably say balance. It's something that we've still been refining for 1.1 and everything. But that'd probably be the hardest part. Voice acting is not exactly super difficult, especially with Grigori for me, because it's a character that I've at this point become an expert at voicing. But it'd be that, or kind of just coming up with new designs and stuff like that. Like we'll see later with the little kind of mini boss battle, and then just some other stuff. What else? It'd be also kind of making sure some of these spaces look like Gordon has come through them, but a lot of like the level design and everything. Kind of, I guess, to speak for Kralek here for a moment, because he has to step away for just a sec here. Probably a lot of the level design, kind of building this kind of back rooms, not back rooms as in like the cryptic thing, but the back rooms of where you have not explored in Ravenholm, kind of connecting that back into RTBR's Ravenholm, of kind of like filling in those gaps is kind of pretty big challenge. We can go for the next one.
All right. Z Maximus asks, what were the inspirations for the headcrab designs? It kind of reminds me of the works of H.R. Geiger.
So that would be Andy's designs. Andy is our primary and is our primary organics modeler. He does absolutely fantastic work. I know that some of the designs for like the head crabs and stuff are a little controversial, but I think that they're absolutely wonderful. The thing about the head crab designs and just the designs in Zen in general for like Andy's work is it kind of has a very aquatic look to it, and has this very kind of like foldy look to it and everything like that. Our head crabs actually have kind of harder shells than the Half-Life 2 ones do, and it's kind of just a branch off from. I guess if you look at the Half-Life 1 head crab and then you look at the Half-Life 2 head crab, there's a significant difference in design even there, and I think this is more of a design choice of if you took the Half-Life 1 head crab and went a different direction with it, rather than the direction of like having like these kind of like these like almost like finger-like appendages on the front, of instead keeping that same original shape but making it kind of a different interpretation. And I think that's something that Andy does very well. He reinterprets a lot of these concepts from Half-Life 1 and concepts that he's been given for just creatures in general in Half-Life, and he makes them kind of have the same feel as the originals, but have like this kind of wildly creative design. And I've come to appreciate it significantly because it is it's kind of a breath of fresh air for me to see designs that aren't strictly just up-resed versions of the originals, you know. So yeah, that would be that's the best kind of way I can describe it. I'm not sure what his direct inspirations were, besides the original concepts, but yeah, they're a lot more. He's responsible for a lot and a significant portion of R2BR's personality when it comes to personality and identity when it comes to our visuals. Now, what was that top question there?
Top question?
It was how far along is Triumph?
Oh yeah.
It's not really something we can give like a percentage for or anything like that. It's had work done since the last time we mentioned it.
Yep, we have a certain amount of test chambers blocked out, and you know, and we have made strides in kind of piecing together the full story and everything. But it's kind of we hope to show more for that at some point. But the priority right now that Salvation is out and the 1.1 patch is also sorted, is Division 3 for the time being. So. This area is a bit messy, but we have a couple of dead Gnomes here now, I see.
Yep, so just to kind of to kind of reiterate how Gordon has come through here and kind of wrecked some stuff while on his travel through Ravenholm. I added back in those two Gnomes that he killed. One of them's got a saw blade through the head, and the other one is burning on top of that battery. I also added fire to that battery because people were thinking they had to solve a puzzle here. Yeah, so a little bit of a brutal way for the Gnome there to die. I guess that's the canonical way that those died going forward. But
I say it's deserved. Screw them,
yeah.
Gnomes.
Yeah, big angry boys. Some of the torsos have a problem with falling through the ground.
Yeah, I think it's because if you kick them down, then the physics force of the kick at the time when the model ragdolls like pushes it through the geometry, which is kind of funny. Oh, I'm just not sure how you would fix that. Maybe you just need to put in some kind of safeguard or something. These apartments are not required for progression, but as part of what we've done to kind of add in the extra items and stuff, there are items to find if you actually go digging around off the beaten path. Which I guess for me, coming to that Salvation, what was challenging question, that was probably the most challenging thing, because we designed these maps around a very particular path that you were supposed to take, right? Because, you know, we designed them for RTBR. And then going back into them for Salvation, it's like, okay, you're supposed to go through this door originally, right? So, you know, in RTBR we have like this bright light here. There's nowhere else you can really go anyway, you know. And this is a dead end room. So then you go through here and you kind of progress. Not to mention we have like stuff on top of that roof to take attention and so on. I'm not gonna say it's watertight, but the point is that we basically. We design maps for RTBR to guide players a particular way. For Salvation, we then had to figure out, you know, when you make a map, the very way in which you make the map is what's meant to also guide the player. Like, you will make structures and set pieces that almost guide the player towards a particular destination. You know, like you will set up the levels such that like there's hallways where only one of the doors it has like a light above it and stuff like that. And so for Salvation, we end up having to kind of retrofit this second route in that also needs to be telegraphed to the player. We did a lot with playtesting, and Amicus did more in 1.1. It's probably the most challenging thing to me, was not just for putting in the new areas, which was which is fairly straightforward, again, because Flash designed his areas very well. But figuring out, okay, how do we now get people who may be familiar with Ravenholm to understand you are not supposed to go back the way you came 100% of the time. You are supposed to take new routes. And, you know, we've done, I think, a decent job of it. It's obviously a bit of a challenge anyway, but I think we've done a pretty good role with it.
Oh yeah, there he is. So this guy right here, just a fun little fact here. That guy is the carpet shop man. So all of the carpets that you see in that apartment and the carpets that you see here and everything like that, that's the dude. That's the dude that's responsible for all of this, all of these carpets.
He's the key to all this.
That's him. I was like, I want a skeleton that's laying on carpets in the back room here.
That's when we're gonna have raising the bar carpet man.
That's the carpet man.
Yeah,
The carpet man. Secret playable character.
He didn't even. I'm my little head canon here. Even though I'm the one who came up with this skeleton thing here. My head canon here is that he died much before Ravenholm was shelled. He actually died back here just because nobody noticed that he was gone, I guess. That's why he's not a head crab. He just died.
Z Maximus
Surrounded by his beloved carpets.
He died doing what he loved.
I got another question
Sister
here
Sophia,
from Reverend
may this
Puffin.
sacrificial flame
Will
be
the team's
your
work as part of
refuge. You shall
Orbital
guide
bring
them
any of
to the
those
Lord
developed resources
and
through
liberate
to
their
RTBR,
souls.
such as the high-res models and textures?
we will probably not be integrating anything from Half-Life 2 RTX into RTBR. The design conventions for Half-Life 2 RTX are extremely different from what we do in RTBR. Even our least optimized models are required to be a certain poly count in order to fit into the source engine. This is not really the stream to go into the technicals of how RTX Remix works and why we're able to do what we are on Half-Life 2 RTX. But yeah, I would expect to not see any crossover content coming over into RTBR.
Yeah, RTX stuff would absolutely melt the source engine without the stuff from their tech, basically.
Besides that, I just want to also state that Half-Life 2 RTX is under NDA, and as a result, we cannot really give many details on that project. So if we could keep things focused on RTBR and that stuff's not under NDA. We'll choose not to answer certain questions, which is different. So,
Fair enough. Cosmic Cynic asks, and so people already answered this or gave their own opinions in the chat. He asks, where is RTBR City 17 located?
So the idea is really that that RTBR kind of as we kind of took the idea of what they do in Half-Life Alyx by picking up a city block and kind of went, well, you know, if the Combine run Earth and they want to run Earth and they want to control the entire population, it's probably easier to do so if you've got a bunch of mega cities with like 15 or 20 million people in, instead of 15 or 20 million people spread out over the course of like a small country, for example, right? Like, it would be much easier to put the entirety of Belgium into one city than to have to manage Belgium as is, right? If you have a Combine and you were trying to dominate the planet. And so the idea in RTBR is that a lot of these cities were kind of mashed together, using things like the floating thingy-majig in Half-Life Alyx and maybe other tools like Construction Striders to sort of combine together cities and residences and domiciles, such that everyone could be housed in these mega cities instead. Yeah, that's the idea behind the slightly conflicting architectural styles. That's a lore reason anyway. The art pass reason is the beta has elements of both, not in the same era, but does have elements of both. And there are compelling set pieces both in the European and in the American themed architecture. And so as with RTBR, a lot of the time we go, well, we'd like to do both these things, so we need to think of why that would make sense. And, you know, Things like we have multiple bull squid skins, and we explain why, and kind of that they are environmentally based, and we have certain characters that return, and we explain why, and that's sort of something that we try to do and try to integrate into the world as well. I certainly think we probably could do more on the city combining front. At least the underground is implied to be an example of this place, because when you go into the underground, you actually see that there are entire collapsed buildings underneath the Manhack Arcade, from where the Combine maybe picked up a chunk of city and put it on top of where some buildings already were, right?
It reminds me of the old New York from Futurama.
Yeah, exactly. I guess take that, make it less comedic, and that's unironically a good reference point for kind of what I'm talking about here. It's kind of, there is a lot of places the Combine it would be more convenient if everybody was in the same place, so that's what they did.
I think there's even another example of that kind of stuff in reality. I believe in Seattle, there's portions of the city that are built on top of older portions of the city, which is kind of wild. I never knew about this until actually looking into this for like just kind of looking into real world examples of kind of underground, and finding that, I was like, wow. Yeah, if anybody's interested, look up like the stuff for I forget what it's called specifically, but the portions of Seattle being built on top of other portions, basically, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, I think like I say, it's kind of an excuse for us to touch on multiple things. In terms of where is it actually geographically, that's sort of an answer we deliberately leave ambiguous, with the fact that the idea is that the Combine has put everything together. You can assume it would be somewhere that experienced fairly temperate weather, not extremes of cold or heat. So you can assume it would be somewhere in either North America or like North Europe, maybe. Not like North Europe, like Central Europe or something. You could assume a geography like that, but that's not necessarily something we have details on at this time. Nor do I necessarily think we might ever fully explain that. It's kind of not relevant. The most relevant thing is that the varied architectures is because the Combine has been putting together the cities. Everything else kind of isn't really relevant to explaining that. So.
Oh yeah, to also clarify, that has nothing to do with it taking place in Seattle.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a real world example that's kind of interesting to look at. But I will be right back.
All right.
I entrust you with Radiance, dearest Sophia. Depart and reunite with your king.
So I'm going to say for Amicus's benefit here, this kind of tower here is implied to be filled with fuel. That's why it blows up in the next map, as you'll see. It's not stated outright, but I guess the idea is, why would you cast a pyre around a water tower? This may be the reason why. That's also why the flames kind of rise up the tower. It's sort of the fuel beginning to ignite inside the tower, beginning to raise up it, and then we'll see this reach its conclusion in the next map. Off there in the distance as well, of course, we see fire from the part of Ravenholm we were just in, being set on flames. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait for Amicus to come back. Do we have any more questions, then, in the chat?
That I'm finding so far. The last real question was the City 17 location.
I think somebody I I watched somebody play that map yesterday, and oh yeah, right. I saw someone who played that map yesterday, and they had an instance where they actually tried to kick a barrel into one of the zombies. He dodged it, then he tried shooting him. Then another zombie, basically, he hit one of the other barrels and basically blocked his shot. That was something like, if we could actually get a video of that one, that would be kind of funny, because it's like a 1 in a million shot right there. If you remember, Sorted played it yesterday, Grolic.
Oh, I didn't catch him playing it actually. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, it was really funny watching it. It was just like all over the place. It was panicking all the time. Yeah.
Hey, we do have a question here from Matino's Burritos. He asks, did you name this zombie randomly, or did you name it because most of City 17 was inspired by Sofia, Bulgaria?
I don't think she's named after Sofia, Bulgaria. Amicus named these three. I would need to wait for him to come back before we got an answer on why he named them such, but she's not named after Bulgaria. There is a question here from Rhino Razor asking, is this a newer build? This is a 1.1 build that has had about 70 updates, fixes, changes, so on. We will be releasing this 1.1 patch build right after the stream. So stay tuned after we're done with the stream, and the 1.1 build will be available for everyone.
I'm back.
Hello.
Hey. We have a question for you, Amicus.
About the names for the zombies. Why? Where did you get the names for the zombies in the pyres from?
So the original one, Jekov, is actually from a cut line from Half-Life 2. That one, the second line that he says for that pyre was actually verbatim a line from the cut lines that Grigori had. I explained this earlier in the stream, but basically he used to have this. I think it was the introduction of him, where he would throw a body into the fire and then say that line before he talks to you. But basically, I took that concept and I kind of made other ones. One of them's a woman here that would have been like either one of the nuns or basically one of the people who worked in his clergy. Jacob and the other one, Jonathan, later on. This isn't really explained in Salvation, but Jonathan, I imagine being one of his kind of I forget what the term for it is in like a church, but basically one of his people that he's teaching to become like a priest, basically. One of his
acolyte.
Yeah, I guess an acolyte, like a younger person that is kind of learning how to become like one of these priests or preachers or something like that. And then the earlier one, I don't really have a specific role for what he was, but it was a person that Grigori cared about very much.
Disciple or apprentice, people were saying. Yeah, that's probably better than acolyte. Yeah. Acolyte's a bit culty, to be honest with you.
Apprentice would be a better. Yeah, it was more of like his apprentice would be Jonathan. But Jacob, I don't really have a specific role for, so that's kind of up to interpretation for people. But that would be at least that. Sophia here is a is one of the kind of the women in his clergy, I guess is a word for it. I don't know. Basically the equivalent to a nun. Obviously we don't have a model for it that's separate from like the zombies that are like male, but maybe in the future that'll be a thing, but we'll see. I'm not going to commit to it yet, but we'll see.
All right.
Hello, 1UP.
Hello, 1UP.
Lambda dude asks, this is a question for Random Cat.
We'll progress for now. I think we've done enough questions. I'm just going to have this bit here where we have this Gnome chasing us. I'm going to run back. Alright. Now, let's see how this works. Well.
Oh
That was
man,
amazing.
I think it was pretty good, honestly. That was not bad.
that worked out.
Oh, you aced it, man.
It
Yeah,
was
nice.
Not bad at all. Probably wouldn't have worked on hard because I got hit like once in there. But you know.
Yeah, 1UP-D, I really loved your reaction to that Gnome when I
Yeah.
watched your playthrough.
That reaction was absolutely superb. I'm just going to replay this bit, just so we can see this better. You have some zombies down here, and so you go to engage the zombies, and then of course, behind you comes a Gnome, and you really are not in a position to fight this Gnome. You're really not supposed to. With 3 fast zombies around the place as well. This is one of those areas where I think people sometimes run into problems with the fact that you are not necessarily supposed to kill every zombie in Salvation. Matter of fact, you shouldn't be trying to. On normal, it might be doable, but on hard, you really should just be trying to survive. You should take the encounters you have to, and you should skip the ones that you can. Very much inspired by like Resident Evil and that kind of horror game. You don't need to kill everything. Certainly sometimes you won't have the ability to, and this is one of those times.
Yeah, it's not cheesing the experience to just run past enemies. If you can run past an enemy, do it. That's the intended experience.
Yeah, I'm being a little bit more violent in this stream for the interest of the stream, but when I attempt a Deathless run, if I attempt a Deathless run at the end of this stream, then I will be playing it a little bit more like that.
This, a fun fact about this room, this is kind of a holdover of, if anybody has ever dug through the files of Division 2 or anything, you might notice that there was a line that might still be in there that was cut from R2BR of Grigori saying something along of like their visions are lesser than yours, kin of my kin, or whatever. Because we actually had a small segment in Division 2 at one point where you were going to go through a little warehouse that was completely pitch black. And this is kind of that brought back for Salvation. It's a little warehouse area that's completely pitch black that you have to go through, because if you turn off your flashlight, just you can see how dark it is in here. And this is supposed to be like, if you don't have your flashlight on, you're not going to get through this very easily. So that's basically just kind of a callback to that little thing that is little known cut content from the cut content mod.
Indeed.
Amicus casually popping into the Grigori voice. Yes, brother.
These are 2 zombie, but I always run
Watch my
past.
footing passing along this ledge.
Salvslation. Slay, queen. Yes.
Yes, queen.
This is one of my favorite hallucinations.
So those crucified models were made by Aiden.
Perhaps, in some way, I already have.
So same person who made that the wall that you kick open made those animations. He made a couple other animations for this as well.
Indeed.
Oh, he just bounced. So I put some collapsed wood there to make people stop looping through this building, basically. I've noticed that during playthroughs that I've seen, that people basically loop down those stairs and then come back up through and jump over the barricade and then loop down back those stairs again. I'm not sure what happens. I guess it's a collective psychology thing where people just kind of, everybody just decided that that's the way to go. So I've stopped. I put a stop to that. Yep, 1UP-D. That was actually a direct addition to because of your suggestion.
Z Maximus says, imagine if Amicus tried to do Grigori's voice with a Jamaican accent like the bad man from GTA 4.
I'm not even going to attempt that because I don't want to risk being offensive. Yeah, what up to your playthrough was actually very informative. Thank you for
Time grows short.
thank you for doing that.
Like the last
Oh,
of my
Batman,
fighters
right. I'll
make
send
my
you a clip of
escape,
him
or
talking
I shall join
after the
Cash
stream, Atticus.
and be buried here.
He's actually one of my most favorite characters in the GTA series. No, not really. But he speaks funny.
I got two more questions here. One from Lambda Dude. This is more of a random cat question. Where were all the custom particle effects made in?
Oh, I didn't anticipate having to talk about more than what I initially noted down, but very well. So I use the particle editor, which is the same like official tool that Valve uses from Half-Life 2 Episode 2 onwards. Older effects, like all the ones that came from Half-Life 2, are done via an older hard-coded system, which Valve replaced so that artists, could do their thing without having to like go back and forth with programmers and such. So the particle editor is an in-engine interface that you can access by launching any source game or mod with the -tools launch argument. It lets you. Well, then you have to also like switch to the particle editor because there's also like the commentary editor and the VMT editor, or like others depending on which engine branch. But anyway, yeah, it lets you author PCF file format, which contains all the like function names and parameters that drives every particle system. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright. So, let's hold the questions, Miles. And play a bit.
2v3 says your mod is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Feel free to anybody who's in the stream here, if you enjoyed the mod and when 1.1 releases, enjoy it there as well. Feel free to give us a review on ModDB. It really helps, and it's really encouraging to the rest of the team as well, because everybody on the team appreciates when we get good reviews. So.
Absolutely. And if you've already left a review on Salvation and you play 1.1 and think it's an improvement, or think it's been an improvement so far from what you've seen, consider playing it yourself and leaving an updated review.
That explosion there was caused by the pyre that you lit in the previous map. Actually made its way up that water tower, and it's implied that water tower is Grigori filled with gasoline or some sort of explosive.
Yeah, in the previous map in 1.1.
Water tower there you can see. Yep.
Yeah. Whilst you were gone, Amicus, we explained in the previous map that some fire went up the pipe thing.
This is actually one of my favorite songs they made for this as well.
It's not ideal. Oh. Can we have this door closed, please? Oh, crap.
Will the kick mechanic be a feature for Father Gregorian in NPC form for Div 2? Probably not. But we'll see. I mean, we've got a long way before our TBR is done. Things change, things can happen, but we'll see.
You pretend they're still your children. You hate their twisted faces. Their smiles turned into grotesque masks.
Tabby again there as Annabelle.
My efforts will bring you comfort as I lay this town to rest, my dear.
Oh, okay. Let's come around this way a bit.
Tabby is a fantastic and very professional voice actress. So I'll kind of shout her out here as well. She has a casting call club page. If anybody needs her or wants to hire her for projects, by all means, she's wonderful. She's wonderful to work with.
There's another item pickup back here somewhere.
So yeah, in these later maps for 1.1, I didn't add a whole bunch more new things when it comes to pickups. I mean, so that was just kind of a because I didn't want to change the difficulty of these later maps. Basically, I wanted them to be hard. Something you may have missed. I didn't know if you actually looked back before, but the fire in this map from that explosion from the water tower actually creeps throughout this map as you progress. When you get past this pyre here, you can actually look back and see it.
I'm just gonna no-clip back because I think I missed something else back here. Oh, did I not? Oh,
I guess not.
Did I?
Yeah, this fire here, you can see where you were before, has now been kind of engulfed in some flame here. And then when you progress past this pyre here, you'll be able to see it as well. It's just a small detail that I added for 1.1, so that you can see the results of your work.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, as the flames embrace you, let them be the conduit for your soul's emancipation.
Something that was frustrating here for some players, I've amended where there was Zombines that would come in and just blow you up, so I've made it so that they don't do that anymore. So this room before used to be just another pyre where you'd put a couple gas cans there, but I saw this room and I saw an opportunity. I was like, let's put a little boss battle here. Let's make this room a little bit more interesting. So I basically took a Zombine and made it so he can't pull out any grenades, and I covered him in Zen biomass, like he's been sitting there for a while. And it's a kind of diversion of expectation because you've been able to go and just grab these gas cans and put them to the pyre. But when you go to grab this one, you realize that the gas can has stuck to his back, and he has this armor on his head and his back and everything that gives him a lot more health. And I actually worked out the system as well, where if you shoot him in the head enough times, his armor actually pops off his head as well. You can see there that the armor eventually comes off his head, and you can start doing headshots to him because that actually covers his entire head before. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. These hands actually are these were the models that I used as a placeholder before Amicus did a proper animation of the church hands. I might be able to even pick a set animation hand. I don't know. I can't remember what I called the animation.
Church underscore hand, maybe?
Oh, it might be. Nope.
No, I guess not.
Well, anyway, these hands are basically leftovers from there, and then we have them here as well to kind of do the job. With blocking Grigori's way. Normal zombies are not blocked by these hands, which has its own implications, but you know.
Depart now, my child, and find respite from this mortal coil. I pray you find comfort in the Lord's embrace.
So you can see back there that the fire has progressed to that barricade that you jumped over before. Man, the HDR makes that look nice. Along with the glow sprite.
Oh, light of lights, thy will is almost done. Allow me to serve for but a moment more, and all will be made clear.
Raising the bar awesome.
So we're now up here where you were first introduced to Grigori in RTBR.
It's one of those examples of being able to see the behind the scenes of where areas look. what areas look like and everything.
This is another Gnome you're not necessarily supposed to fight, and instead can keep on moving.
We left that door open specifically so that you can run through it. You can fight it if you have the ammo for it. It's not actually that hard to kill him, because he actually was damaged a bit by the fire as well. But yeah, you don't have to fight him if you don't want to. You can just run right by him. So something here to note is that so for Salvation, I actually learned how to make skyboxes, and the skybox here and the skybox previous was made by me with the help of Mike here, because Mike actually helped me with either both assets and workflow help with these skyboxes basically. So he was a huge help with that. And this last one here is basically like a blood moon. It's very obviously a hallucination, but I wanted that kind of symbolism of almost like a hell on earth type thing.
Here we go.
Why'd you decide to add the Gnome to RTBR? Because they're fun.
Yeah, it's a
big angry monsters are fun.
Yep. More zombie variety for Ravenholm is
masses
also
were
good.
restless as they approach their final hour. Twilight will not
Are you
wait
just talking
for
about the
long.
3D skybox? I just had to step up for a second.
Yeah, I was just saying that you were a big help with that. I was thanking you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time trying to find a workflow to get the skybox working, and it was quite a pain.
Worked out really well though. I think these skyboxes turned out really good.
Yeah, you were getting really frustrated with like the first few programs you were using.
Yeah, TerraGen is what TerraGen is what a lot of people use, and I was using it, and I was like, I can't do this.
Also worked
TerraGen
with
is really good at what it
Toadmap
does.
as well, right?
Yeah, tone map is a bit redder here. For 1.1, I actually brightened this map a little bit because people were complaining about it being too dark, along with the making the flashlight brighter. So yeah, there's a tone mapper here that makes it a bit redder, and the lighting here is a bit redder and everything. There's Annabelle.
It's another layered music track here.
This is actually the most complicated one of the layered tracks because it actually has 6 layers to it. Also, yes, Annabelle's hallucinations and stuff like that were pretty inspired, especially that last fire one were pretty inspired by like fear, like with Alma. So a 1.1 edition here, as I added a pretty bright blue light to the tunnel there. Both is kind of like a being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel type kind of symbolism there, but also to help guide the player. You see this blue screen, and then out of the corner of your eye, you see the blue there, so you can kind of correspond where that light is coming from. And it is very, very different from the rest of the lighting in the map. So I wanted it to kind of be is the word antithesis of basically what the rest of this map is. I think that means the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What way did you implement layered tracks? Basically, I had a bunch of the tracks. It's a very simplistic way to do it, and there's a better way to do it, but I wanted to just make it work. Is I made it so the rest of the tracks are incredibly quiet until they are called upon, basically, and then they kind of fade in. So they're all playing at the same time, and then as you progress, different parts of that music kind of gets louder. It's a simple way to explain it.
There is actually the dev map I made, which actually has this system, so you can like actually download this map and see how it's built from there. It's using like actual official assets. So, yep, go ahead. It's go to the Salvation ModDB page under add-ons, and you have a map called Grigori Dev. That map has all the things you need, at least.
Yeah, it has things like the gas can zombie and stuff like that. So if you wanted to make custom maps for Salvation in the future, there's some tools there to do it. Is it linear progression, adding layers? Yeah, there's one thing that kind of swaps out here, but it's mostly a linear progression. Yeah, there we go. Made it so the zombies are actually banging on the wall there.
I must find more fuel to power the generator. Perhaps the warehouse by the waterfront.
And dude, your question will be answered basically by watching. So.
Oh, look at that! Jumping into the alleyway around.
Outplayed.
Yeah, I remember on the first build of this, the one of the gas cans weren't highlighted, so I was just kind of like running around blind, not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I noticed that on one of these stream as well. I believe I fixed it. Actually, is it not working again? Oh no, it's highlighted.
It's working. Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it with the stream's compression a little bit, but
The last I recall, the one that wasn't highlighted was the one that was across from that hole that goes into that little room.
There is some color correction to the map to make it a bit red. But we didn't want to make it go overboard because there's still like colors that you need to be able to see. Well, yeah, with the combination of the kicks being improved and everything, this map should be a bit better. The kicks, being able to kick props a lot easier, and just a general like balance change here. I made it so that the fast zombies and Gonoms spawn a little bit slower, just slightly, so they're not overwhelming you all the time. And being able to kick torsos to kill them immediately. Just all that makes it a little bit easier without sacrificing too much of the challenge. So.
Oh, okay, not that way. Oh, hello.
There we go.
Come forth now, my flock. Can be redeemed.
One of the main additions here is the after the zombies have broken the wall down, they have also been engulfed in flames.
I must get to the boat. It is time to bid Ravenholm
I will show it in a
farewell.
sec. I came back here to get the health pickup.
Yeah.
That's over here. I need to scramble a bit. Also, look at that. Hang on, look at that blue light. The blue light that the gate casts on the riverfront is also really good. It's a little hard to see from that side of the town, but when you get here and you see all the different lights on the water, it's very good.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, great. Well, I don't need it anyway because the boat is there. It's fine. I am going to, however, show the zombies coming out of the fire. I'm just going to throw on God mode for this bit. Because we've already won, I'm just going to show this bit here with the zombies.
There's a when you complete it, there's a constant stream of zombies coming out on fire. And this is the result of all of the pyres that you have burned all the way to the waterfront. So the entirety of Ravenholm is basically on fire at this point. And you can see that in the skybox as well. You see the big plumes of smoke and all the buildings on fire. And now the fire is all the way here. And no, the gas cans are not destructible. The highlighted ones, at least.
There we go. All right, well, let's jump into this boat then.
May the light protect us from the darkness we carry with us from Ravenholm. And may the light guide the newcomer's hand true as he strikes at the heart of evil. He may not be the savior I was hoping for, but perhaps he will do after all. My Annabelle, I carry you with me. I pray for the day I need not use your strength.
This track here is one of my favorites I made, basically, ever, actually.
This Grigori rowing animation was also done by Aiden. And there's Annabelle in the boat with him as well.
I amended the credits here a little bit. One, to give voice acting credit, because I guess we forgot about that before. So we got that in. And then also, I had just a small thing that I added here to kind of not make it so people think that like 100 people worked on Salvation. Like, obviously, like the culminated work of the team of R2BR was the foundation and a lot of work for R2BR or Salvation. But I think that it made people think before without the I guess the obvious gap between here. The entirety of the team had pivoted to Salvation, and I didn't want people to think that, basically. Yeah, everybody here's work is fantastic. Added a credit for Danny there too.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up here as well, building off of the foundation that that Kralik made of bringing all of the maps into one, and then adding some destruction to it. I went ahead and I even furthered the destruction and added like some fog and ash and everything we'll see here in a second. This will be basically the day after. We'll just let this play.
Haunting yet beautiful.
This one here is still my favorite one. I barely changed it from what Kralik did, so this is all Kralik's work right here. I only added one small displacement, and if you can see there is a single candle still lit underneath the cross there. And I saw some interpretations of this area, and I'm not going to explain what the actual meaning of all of this is because I like hearing the conversation about it. But I really enjoyed seeing people kind of come up with their own theories about like what the candle means and what that hole in the wall means and all that stuff, and just the general thing of this. But yeah, I spent the last probably day and a half before submitting the final build for Salvation 1.1. Working on absolutely destroying Ravenholm. these areas, at least.
It's quite poetic in a way,
areas
bringing it full circle about, we spent a great deal of time putting Ravenholm together and, putting together the narrative, and in Salvation it was time to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah, it was the closure of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can barely see any buildings in the background and everything because they've all fallen and everything's just an ash heap at this point. The only building that's basically not made of metal that's standing is the church at this point. It's unscathed. Well, still has some damage to it, but it's somehow still standing there. So,
mildly scathed.
Yes.
A little bit. It's
This right here probably takes place when Gordon is already well into Div 3. So.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little scathing. Just a hint of scathing.
Alright.
I want to talk about my ash. The ash falling thing. Yeah, that's something I made sort of last minute at the request of Amicus.
Same with those smoke plumes as well.
Yeah, he poked me and was like hours away from the thing, and so yeah, bit of a smaller deadline than usual, but yeah, it's fine. I can work pretty fast.
Yeah, you really pulled through with that.
We went through like a few ideas for how to implement it, but eventually we settled on like the simple hand-placed effect that sort of widely covers an area, and yeah, it turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, that the ash fall from the sky. This scene does not look anywhere near as cool without it. Like obviously these areas look great already, but that ash fall is like really the cherry on top, and it's something that I was stressing getting working, and Random Cat really just absolutely just killed it, getting it ready like last minute for me. So
and it was
I thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and it was my very final contribution to Salvation, at least as of yet, which is, kind of poetic, fitting, right?
Yeah. So, yes, this is looping. This is actually the main menu right after you beat it, but the menu doesn't come up immediately. If you press escape, it does, but yeah, then you get your menu back. But we wanted to keep. I think this was an unintentional feature. I'm not sure. But I kept it in because I know people reported it as a bug, but I actually like the menu not being intrusive there after you beat the game. And just being able to see these without the menu there. So, yeah. So that is Salvation 1.1. It'll be coming out very soon after this stream. But Kralik, were you asking me how much time I have left?
That's right.
I have probably around 30-ish minutes. So we could probably try to do a deathless one if you had time.
I'm going to try a deathless thing. I am not going to be talking during this one. We are no longer in asking questions mode. We are now in. I'm going to have to go into mega gamer mode to pull this off. A good stream of deathless Salvation should take about 15 to 20 minutes, so it should be doable. Within the time that Amicus has left, and then we might have time to talk about something else at the end. And if I die, then we're probably just going to call it there. So we're going to give it a go and see how it goes. It'd be really funny if I died to my own trap or something in this stream, but let's go!
I was gonna say, what if you just died in the first map?
If you die on the first map, everybody laugh.
I am just going to
Yeah.
quickly. I'm just going to double check because I've never done that from the other background map before, so I'm just going to double check that it is active.
Hast heard.
Yeah, it is. Well, Deathless runs. I'm just kidding.
There you go. So we're going to skip this and let's go.
I have cried out to thee, and thou hast heard me. Ravenholm rests for no man. It is time to leave this town behind.
Keep in mind during this during a Deathless run where you're especially trying to speed run it or anything like this too, there may be some things that kind of overlap, like voice lines and stuff like that. Obviously, the intended experience is not him overlapping his own voice, but if you're speed running, you're already kind of
claimed.
cutting corners anyway. So. See ya, Z-Max. Add in lines where he somehow stumbles over his own words. Because Ravenholm must be. What I should take what I
There will be no turning back.
Ammunition, damn it. Oh, there it is.
Now, it is time to brave the town. I must conserve my ammunition. I cannot hope to free them with bullets alone. Meant no harm.
A response context, by the way, I don't know if we talked about it before, but that was something that Kralik put together as well. Basically, where when you kill zombies, they have a small chance of having Grigori say a line, basically from his regular set of lines in RTBR.
This fire will deliver you, Jacob. You shall become the light that frees those who have loved in their truest form.
It's Grigori's exodus from Ravenholm, but he doesn't have time.
And wish you peace from this place.
Yeah, he's late.
Go and join your family in the place of glory. Flee from the desertions of the Demiurge.
Grigori's exodus, but the boat's set to leave very soon.
The boat is on borrowed time.
He's got to go catch the boat.
What was once the heart of this community.
By the way, I haven't seen any other speed runs of Salvation yet since I saw there was a VTuber that did it. So if anybody has a speed run or anything that's faster than that one, post it in the Discord. Maybe I'll pin like a bulletin or something like that in the Salvation chat or something of who has the current record.
By the way, I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier because I wasn't here, but technically now your Division 2 ends here, so technically you're in the future now.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That Salvation is the furthest along in the RTBR timeline at this point.
Yeah.
And to quadruple clarify this as well, because Valve has a problem with this as well. We will absolutely clarify that this is canon to RTBR. Like this, like all of this in RTBR happened, so it's not like a kind of singular thing that's like, you know, blocked off from the rest of the story. no clip out of Ravenholm to see Div 3 early. Yeah, just follow Gordon down the mine shaft. I wonder if there's still a level design. Did you take the level transition out of that?
You shall guide them to the Lord and liberate their souls.
That'd be funny if you could jump down the mine shaft and continue through Mine Town.
Oh, be thy ye, child.
You know what I want to make now? It's like playing a football map for Salvation. Just have a working ball and have Grigori play football.
With your kin.
And have the zombies trying to punt it into a
goal or something.
Into a goal.
That'd be awesome. I think I'm already have my next passion project in line.
Have them on 100% like punting mode, and then have it so they have like an info target or something that they keep trying to punt towards. I agree with you, 1UP-D. Let's bring back Woe Betide D.
Woe Betide D.
Woe Betide D.
Had best watch my footing passing along this ledge.
Used to be puppeted by a parasite that calls my body home.
Was what AI generated?
Would that I could take your place. Perhaps, in some way, I already have.
God damn it.
If you're talking about me, no, it's not AI generated. I can just do that with my voice.
Okay, cool, I got everything.
I can go ah.
There's a lot of Grigori memes that do need your voiceover, Amicus. So
Well, I'm
you
a
know,
voice actor for hire.
chop chop.
So I will say, I don't really do voiceover work and voice acting work for free for one-off random things. So, if you do contact me, I this is my job. So. I take a toll on the throat after a while. Well, I've been doing it for like 3 years at this point, so I think I'm gonna be all right. Think about how Grigori feels. He has to live with that voice permanently.
Time grows short. I must light the last of my pyres and make my escape, or I shall join the ash and be buried here.
I could use a cough drop right about now.
If I tried to do that voice, I would. I don't know, my throat is pretty dry right now, so I would not succeed. You move your Adam's apple, right? That's what you do?
Yeah, I shift my throat to the side with my hand. I go ah.
Nope. That's. I got a gag reflex. So
Grigori's voice is just Grigori in the top right corner with headphones on. Grigori VTuber. Thank you for the 100 bits, Epic Gamer 996.
If you want a deeper voice, just smoke. Well, that's bullshit. I used to smoke, and my voice is still like this.
That is our first swear of the stream, just so you know.
Their smiles turned into
Oh, it's just an hour.
Yeah, just as you just said now, that's our first swear of the stream. Oh,
I
God's
lay
sake.
this town to rest, my dear.
I thought I was really well behaved this time.
Careful,
Yeah,
don't
good job, dog.
Don't get skill issued now.
Was that the bite of 87?
Oh, sake. Ah! Oh dear.
You almost had it.
Steady.
Hawaii Grigori priest.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay.
That's
We need Grigori doing that most recent Twitch trend.
I think not. Okay. Alright.
Amicus, you think you could do an entire Let's Play as Grigori?
Flames embrace you.
No.
Let them be the conduit for your
I'll break
soul's
my voice.
emancipation.
Grigori bathwater.
Oh my god. Alright, listen, speaking of that awful reference, we do have it somewhere. I'm not gonna say where.
Oh my god.
Now, my
Unless
child,
people found it already.
find respite from this mortal coil. I pray you find comfort in the Lord's embrace.
Is there a pickup down here? I don't think there is. No, there's not.
No.
Well, this is less than ideal.
Oh, light of lights, thy will is almost done. Allow me to serve for but a moment more, and all will be made
How much
clear.
ammo do I have left? I can't see because of my sodding taskbar. 10 rounds?
10 rounds, 8 in the gun.
Right. Okay.
Oh, damn.
This is because I am an epic gamer. I'm not going to jinx it though. I'm going to stop talking now.
Big pro gamer strat.
Here we go.
The masses grow restless as they approach their final hour. Twilight will not wait for long.
This is the thing that makes me anxious. This map is the one that makes me anxious. All the others are totally fine. This one makes me anxious. So this one I'm actually going to do a bit of preparation in advance.
People also think this is a way to cheese the map, but this is absolutely the way to play. This rewards planning.
I'm going to put some health pickups in the areas I'm going to have to run through a few times. It would have been really funny if that saw blade had glitched out and killed me there, so I'm going to avoid running into it directly.
Reminds me of in the Div 2 dev stream, the fast zombie that, you know...
That I was deliberately leaving alive so that its sounds could play and then it killed itself, and it was like, oh, great.
It was great.
Okay, cool, those are good. This can stay here because I'll need to grab it on the way through to get the Gnome. Some ammunition here we're going to grab. I'm going to pile a few more props in front of here to block the zombies.
Yeah, by all means, if you can exploit the AI, then you are thinking like a Grigori.
Like a Grigori.
Yeah, like a Grigori. Home Alone this stuff, man.
Okay, that should about handle that probably, and then I'm going to go block off the other one as well.
Yeah, screw the Grigori VTuber thing. Let's do the entirety of the movie Home Alone, but it's Grigori fighting off zombies instead.
I hope I have enough props to do this.
Bro, I'd actually pay to see that.
A Grigori?
Yes. A Lamau.
Everyone, place your bets now. Will he do it, or will he be overwhelmed by the...
Oh, I'm saying. Wait, we should bet on this. I'm putting down $5.
Five smackaroos. I double
Yeah.
that.
Double? All right, let's go. I'm saying you got this, Kralik. I got faith in you.
For the benefit of the audience, I have done this before, but I have not done it live before, and I've only done it twice before, so, you know, it's very tough. To be fair, I did it deathless in the first round of blockout testing when this was a lot harder. So I think it's probably doable, but
I think you can do it.
I'm just gonna put that out there. Okay, cool, I need that slam apparently. Alright, now I'm gonna go get the health kit that's over here, and I'm actually going to put it in the main space, but I don't have to go over here.
Mike, are you saying you can't do it, right?
Yeah, Randocat was saying I could do it. Wait, is Mike saying he thinks I won't be able to do it?
I don't know.
Mike?
Maybe.
I bet Salvation 1.1 that he'll do it. So if he doesn't do it, then it doesn't come out. Sorry.
It's not really good.
Damn.
Now we got a lot of stakes here. Now we got a lot of stakes here.
Pressure's on.
So.
Where's the health kit? There it is. Right.
Pressure's on, Kralik. I mean, if you win, I get 20 smackaroos from Mike, so...
20?
Don't mess it up.
Just keep increasing the amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
100.
100. Okay, good.
Oh no.
Just imagine the Steam games I'll buy with it.
Damn.
$1 million.
Oh no, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, we can do a little bit more prep by grabbing a few more items. How many slams do we have? 3. Okay, well there's a slam round here, if I can get over this truck. There we go. Slam round here that I'm going to grab now. Did I put another item pickup round here or not? I can't remember if I put one round here or not.
Slam there, yeah.
I picked up one already. I don't know if I actually... There used to be... this is where the old Annabelle hallucination used to be, by the way. That's why that there's a blood splatter there, but it was quite buggy, so Amicus did a much better one.
I bet 40 Ravenholm coins.
Bet 4 doubloons.
I always take some damage in this middle area because there's a fast zombie, so I'm going to leave a health pack right here. No! God damn it.
Simply don't get skill issued.
Kralik, we're all counting on you. Especially me with my 20 smackaroos.
A lot is on the line.
Like
Okay.
2,000. Yeah, 2,000 cents are on the line.
I'm gonna put this health kit out here in case I need it as well. Also on top of this barrel. Actually not on top of this barrel, I'll put it like over here. I'll put it next to this bit.
What was that scream?
That was part of the soundscape.
I know, it just sounded really funny. It's usually not so high-pitched.
Grigori invests in crypto and makes his own virtual Ravenholm currency.
Okay. Right.
Raven coins.
I think I've done all the prep I can possibly do. I've blocked up the 2 things. I've grabbed every pickup and put them in useful places.
Did you turn on the traps?
The trap start turned on. They did at release as well. We got rid of that whole system. You used to have to turn on the traps, but electricity powering a fuel-powered spinner doesn't make any sense. Okay. That is that.
I bet my entire Half-Life Alpha disc stolen from Jeff Keighley on Kralik Loose.
You know what might actually be useful? Maybe I'll put some slams down in front of this to catch the go gnomes. And you know what? I'll probably just sit underneath this thing to catch the go gnomes, so... Alright. Okay. I'll keep the slams. I did not mean to shoot that. That's great. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's happening.
Pressure's on, Kralik.
This music is a whole new thing when I'm doing this live. It's very tense. Oh. Okay, I'm literally just going to sit under here for a
Low
minute.
cello. That like deep cello that.
Exactly. Okay, that's one.
I must find more fuel to power the generator. Perhaps the warehouse by the waterfront.
Okay, hide behind this so the Go Gnomes don't get me with their ranged attack, which they might do anyway because it's a little bit BS. Okay. Okay, cool. That did block it. That's good.
Clean.
Okay, do not get killed by the spinny blade. Oh, bad timing! Oh!
He was standing
Get off of
there.
there. Thanks, mate. Okay, I know there's a thing in here. Okay, that's dead. Okay, so far so good. Slam in there. Okay, I'm going to punt this out here. Oh, go away. Thank you.
Just that saw blade because I completely forgot to remove it. I was experimenting with being able to pick up the saw blades.
Okay, well I'm not going to need to come around here again now, so I'm going to preemptively raise this car trap. That's probably another bit of prep I could have done. It's not ideal to do this prep now because there's fast zombies that will be spawning now. I'm going to put this in here. Oh, there he is. I'm going to break these so that I don't get stuck. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh no. Oh, god damn you. Ah! Okay, well we need those. That's what we have these health pickups for. Right, okay. Back to under here.
What prevents you from waiting this out in the water is that zombies spawn and you have to get gas cans.
Yep.
So you can't just wait in the water because then you don't progress at all.
Yeah, you have to, you know, go in. And this village one is the scariest one. I'm gonna wait to kill this, to try and bait this Go Gnome over so I can actually kill him. I think he's in there with the zombies at the moment. I would like him to come out here, really. Oh no!
Don't get skill issued.
Oh, this is exactly what I mean. I hate this alleyway. I'm just gonna run for a sec. Where's my health pickups? Alright, there's two of them. Good. Okay, now where's my gas can? Okay, there it is.
Almost there.
That Go Gnome is really not coming over. This is a lot easier when you don't have the torsos and the head crabs coming in. But we now have two Go Gnomes coming at once, I think. Ooh. That's a great visual of the Go Gnome leaping over in front of the Blood Moon.
I was about to say that too.
Yeah, me too.
The way is clear. I must get to the boat.
Okay, I'm not going to chance. I'm going to wait for this to kill the Go Gnome, and then I'm going to go. Oh, crap! Ah! Shit!
Go, go, go.
Fuck!
Yes!
You did it.
You did it!
Oh,
I knew you
I
could do it.
There we go.
Oh, I
didn't-
could feel my 20 smackaroos going down the drain for a second.
oh man, I didn't doubt you for a second.
That Go Gnome that was chasing me, man, that was a bit scary.
As he strikes at the heart of evil, he may not be the savior
That
I was
actually did
hoping
go
for.
This
Oh.
was salvation, right,
My
guys?
Annabelle, I carry you with me. I pray for the
Achievement
day.
unlocked.
I need
Achievement unlock.
strength.
Are you gonna show the code on stream?
You have earned a trophy.
Am I going to? Maybe not. What I am going to do is I'm going to disconnect from. I'm going to disconnect here before the code shows up.
Yeah, gotta do it yourself if you wanna, like...
You're going to have to do it yourself if you want the code. But there we go. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to go into Salvation 01. I'm still on Deathless. I should probably change that. The testing doesn't end awkwardly. What I am going to do...
I have cried out to thee, and thou hast heard me. Ravenholm rests for no man. It is time to leave this town behind.
There is a place in the mod where you can enter a code. And if you enter that code, you will legitimately earn... Because of course you can just give it to yourself in the console, but if you want to cheat yourself out of the achievement, that's up to you. You will legitimately earn for use in Salvation. I'm gonna have to end spawn it. The Light of Lights, which is a special rifle as a reward for beating Salvation on Deathless.
Shiny.
Also uses custom sounds and everything.
Uses custom sounds
Hide my hand.
done by Amicus.
Ravenholm must be put to the torch.
I'll wait for Grace
This,
Gregory to
uh,
finish
Remain within
talking.
the town. My sanctuary will provide one final time.
That's got
The Golden Annabelle is not canon.
Yeah, the Golden Annabelle is not canon.
It's just a fun thing.
Yep. It uses anti-oc rounds, and it's gold, and it has much updated sound effects and everything. It also has a bunch of buffs, not to damage, but it has 12 rounds in the mag instead of 8. It fires about 5% faster in both the... it reloads about 5% faster with the bullets. And it fires a bit faster than that on both the primary and secondary fires. And it sounds and looks really cool. That's its main buff, of course. So there you go.
Didn't Grigori beat the game Deathless canonically? Yeah,
So-
he did.
So if you earn the Golden Annabelle, then of course you can use this in order to improve your runs in future. I'm not going to show where you write the code. I'm not going to show the code, of course. I would really encourage you to go and earn it yourself. Because of course you can spawn it in with the console. Of course you could, you know, just like make a custom map with it. You could look up the code from other people. But the fun of these things is really the challenge of earning it yourself. And so that is our Deathless challenge to you. It's not only to beat the game Deathless, to then earn the Golden Annabelle for your efforts from your own
bragging rights.
And bragging rights, exactly. So, other than that, I think that's all we have for today's stream. So, was there any closing thoughts from anyone?
So yeah, 1.1's coming out very soon, like today. So like right after the stream here. So go play it. If you enjoy it, please leave a good review on ModDB, because I think that helps with visibility of it as well, if I remember correctly. But also, it's just nice because it's a very encouraging thing to just see people enjoying it, and that's not just encouraging to me, but it's encouraging to the rest of the team. And this is what we do it for. We're not making this because it's making us a ton of money. We're not doing this because it's making us, you know, like we're not benefiting from this in any tangible way besides just enjoying doing it and seeing other people enjoy our work. So it means a ton to us if you do that. But yeah, so just enjoy the game. Basically, it's been a labor of love from all of us.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for following us to this point. And good luck in your own deathless runs of salvation.
May the lights of lights illuminate your path.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.